Welcome to another edition of the Hoopmaps Podcast. This is episode number 3. And as you see, it's soccer season right now. Hoopmaps is a mobile app where people can find pickup games, but we really want to talk about how to scale and start a startup, because the magic behind us starting this is finding little gems of how to create and build your way up to having an idea to actually having a working product. And purposely today, I wanted to talk about how to become viral, because this is something that a lot of apps, a lot of startups, it's their goal, right? Like, it's their goal from being from anonymity to actually being a commercial success, and getting the attention and the eyeballs of a lot of people that want to download your app and just people in general. And we have a case study. It's our app right now. Our app, Hoopmaps, became viral 2017. And I just really want to kind of dissect that, break it down on how we became from just the idea with 800 users to 80,000 users in over 11 different countries. Just really want to break down the science from start to where we're at now.
Well, I said first really start with your connections. You gotta have either friends or somebody that you know that work in some sort of publications. That's always where you want to start, and that's where we started. We had a friend that worked at the local news station, and that was our end to media, pretty much, to local media.
I play devil's advocate. I'm gonna play devil's advocate a lot. What if you don't have a friend that's connected with the media? Because I could break it down. Okay.
Then it starts from an actual story. You got to think, if you want to be published in any type of publication, whether it's newspaper, whether it's video, whether it's a column, whether it's a magazine, you got to see what type of story that you could give to them. And it's also about timing. Why would your story matter at this particular time? Why would they want to feature you? You can't really look at it in the aspect of, I want to be featured in this publication. It's, what can I do to give this person a story? Every news editor, every columnist, they all have deadlines and they all have assignments to do each quarter, each week, each day. So how can you fit in their schedule, and how could your story really fit their agenda?
So how do you know that knowledge? How do you know that people are looking for stories, and how do you kind of solicit your company to fit into their niche of be able to publish a story, whether it's on the news, in the newspaper, or on the news?
Well, you just got to study the publications. If you want to be on TV, or if you want to be on your local news channel, what do they show every day? What do they show every week? What's the theme? If it's Valentine's Day, you always see love stories. If it's St. Patrick's Day, you always see people in green. So you got to really see what type of publication that you're seeking out, and then from there, see how your story could fit in. So it's all about just studying the markets that you want to enter.
All right, so we're going to talk about this step by step. So it's from concept of having an idea to getting into a local news station. I guess I could break that down myself. Like you said, you got to know what stories is ran for. And for us, app that covers pickup sports, it was March Madness. March Madness was just a kickoff start. Basketball is one of the sports that's on our app, so the timing worked out. But for people who don't know, that I reached out to a producer months ahead of time, at least 4 to 5 months ahead of time. Just persistent, not pesky, not annoying. It was just every month, every couple of weeks, just saying, hey, just updates on the app. Oh, we eclipsed 800 users. We started having a new gym location at this location, like just different pertinent facts that, for a producer, they could have in the back of their mind when they need that story. They could, come straight to us on the top of the list.
And have a mindset of a producer. You got to know they got to fill time slots every day. If you're a weekly producer, if you're an hour producer, if we're just talking TV, they got to fill up slots, each hour. So for this producer, they're just looking for a package story, and then how could they fill that? So it's really about the creativity of the producer and the need of the station.
Okay, and question 2, what medium you think is the best for publicity on a startup app? Is it all publicity is good publicity, or what do you think is the most effective?
Starting out, anything. If you could get in a newspaper, a magazine, or on TV show, to me, I think visuals is, since we're 2018, visuals is most important. So if you can get any type of video content, that's the best. But also, once you just get one of them and you get in a newspaper, that's also legitimate as well. But starting out, like, you just want to get anything you can. You just want to have your name in the publication.
And I think the legwork and the real gold and the real potential, the source of having that third party talking about your company, your service, is what the key is. You know what I'm saying? You take that information, you put your own video into it, you edit it in a certain way, and then you market it yourself. You know, like, that's a goal. Like, I really think PR is a strong marketing tool to really advertise your product. So
you mentioned earlier, you were talking about how you go viral. So, all right, so say we did the Merch Madness, we got that article, but then from there, how did it kind of spin off into something else?
So you got to give it all to, like, network effects. I say luck is one thing, but luck is kind of cutting it a little too short. It's certain things that you have to do to make things align for that luck to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
So what did we do?
We had a strong connection of friends. So for Hoopmaps, we launched in 2016. Before any kind of publication, a full year, just posting up updates of what we've been doing, and just people seeing the passion of what we're trying to accomplish. You know, trying to connect people online to play sports is like a big goal, and just endearing ourselves to our group of people we know, our network. You know, and what happened is once that news story came out, we shared it. And now they knowing years ahead of time that, you know, we started from one follower, we made this update, we did that. So everybody see that, and then when they see a news station on there, they happen to share it. So what happened was, posted a story on Facebook, our friends shared it, their friends shared it, other friends shared it, and now you're starting to see media publications who's seen this article multiple times in their friend graph. They're writing the article. They're catching attention to it. So it started from Facebook as a link, a shared link, to becoming somebody taking a picture of the news story and making it into a meme, and then that meme being distributed everywhere on Facebook, crossed over to Twitter, and from Twitter, you know, Twitter is really amazing. It's like news just like right there, real fast. That became me, but it was a snowball effect. It went to Instagram, Reddit, and then next thing you know, national publications want to find out what's this all about. But to get there, you have to have a group of people that's, one, interested in you, two, it has to be a compelling story. And the framework of the story is everything. It wasn't that, hey, there's a pickup app that, you know, you can create pickup games. Yeah, that's great, but it was the brothers creating a pickup game. It was two brothers that don't know anything about technology, and they came together and figured out a way to make this and that. That was the story, you know what I'm saying? That was a compelling part. So for any other startup or app, you gotta say, like, what's the human appeal to it? What's the human appeal? Put that on the forefront, and then the back end with the stuff that you want to get, that's going to come. You know what I'm saying?
That really set you aside. Like, I mean, because everybody have apps, everybody got technology.
Everybody has an idea, but what's going to separate yours from the rest, you know? And it's the story. So, like, I guess the right approach, like our approach is, since we don't really have a marketing budget, advertising budget, PR has always been top of the line, just from back in the day doing Morris League and appealing to the State Hornet, the Sacramento Bee. It's just the same, you know, the same mechanics is in place, same procedures and technique.
So kind of know your local advertisement, know your local publications,
Yeah,
try to
because
maximize that, and then use that to really get out to the national press.
For us, being a local app, you know, having a lot of synergies, for this app to work, it has to have a lot of things concentrated in one area. Our key really is winning out local markets. So our approach should be, let's get in this Bay Area market, LA market, Sacramento, you know, different, you know, conclaves of people is the right way to go. And from there, you have enough of that, then national attention will happen. But national attention is great for awareness of it. But, you know, awareness is one thing, and the next thing is to get to those local concentrated markets to, you know, become critical in that market.
But like, let's say, you know, you're a brand new app, you know, you launch, you know, you're on the App Store, you're on the Google Play Store, got a good idea, your app worked well, but only, you know, 200 people got it. How could that one person get So even local attention.
I'll say,
how do you start? Because once we release our app, everybody feel like everybody should know about it. That's a good feeling. But the reality is, only a couple people know about it. But the feeling is really getting out to the people. How do you get it out after that happens?
so a lot of founders are like just keeping it real. They're like kind of a little sociopathic. They're really headstrong and thinking like in a one-way track. And what I learned is that you kind of got to give to get. So you can't, even though your tech is good, this is going to be the next changing big idea, you got to understand people are living their lives. People are living their regular lives, and you have to go out and meet those people. So the people that your app or your service is for, you got to endear yourself to that community. So from an app standpoint, you created the beta test is done. The proof of concept is the next step to go. You got a full finished app ready to go. All your ideas, is out there. It's all finished and created. How do you now get customers, get users from just having an idea in your head and a physical product? How do you get people how do you gain traction?
To us, our experience, it takes time. When we first launched, it wasn't everybody knew about our app. It might have been 200 people, and it was happy when we got to 500 people. Like, we actually went to Applebee's and celebrated. So it's really take time. Like, you gotta really start with who you know. Start with your network of friends. Just tell everybody you know about it. It's not perfect. You just launched it, but it really starts that simple.
So you're saying one user at a time, pretty much, right?
Because before you get to 50,000, 20,000, 10,000, you need that one person. It's not worth getting all those numbers if you can't reach 5 people, 10 people. So you really got to start with your network and then really see what they say and get feedback. The name of the game is getting feedback and growing from that feedback.
All right, but yeah, we're talking about exposure now, though. So how do you get from nobody to maybe getting on the local news or maybe getting into a national publication?
Like, you always got to think about, what do your service offer other than its main primary thing? So if we're a basketball app helping people find basketball games, what else do it service? Is it something that make people healthy by getting off their phones and playing together? Is it putting the video games down? What other tasks do it service as opposed to just people finding basketball? So you got to think beyond your service, not just what it do and what you want people to know it for, but also what it costs. What's the cause behind it? If people play, they might be lifelong friends after that. So people are meeting up, they're networking, they're talking to each other.
So you're saying appeal to the human interest, to get the story out.
Yeah, because everybody can relate to something that's relatable. Us, we're brothers, had an idea, started an app, and that was our story. That was our story that really launched us and really got us out there. So I think every startup have their story. It's all about finding that story and just putting it out there in the forefront.
And a lot of people ask, all right, we got the local stories, CBS and Sacramento, but how do you get that to SportsCenter? How do you get that to TechCrunch? How do you get that to NPR? How do you get that to on Shark Tank?
I'm not gonna lie, we had a good run, and I can't advise nobody else to have a run that we had. We had a snowball effect that turned into like an avalanche. Like, so I don't even know if we could duplicate that. It was great timing, it was luck, and it was great people that connect us with other great people. And it was the power of the story that kind of took over the time.
Yeah, but like I would say, yes, I agree with you, but there's certain mechanics you have to do too. So like using one story to get into another story.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we do have the CBS local story.
Yeah, that's true. We did
and then you could kind of cross platforms. You could say, hey, I'm on a TV medium, CBS.
Oh yeah.
This Sacramento news publication, SacBiz Journal, Sacramento Bee.
Oh yeah.
I was featured here. Would you like to feature me here? You know what I'm saying? You could use one against the other to kind of move along and gain more publicity.
And don't be afraid to go outbound. Like, you go out, you contact these publications. That's one thing that
without a doubt.
was never too proud to do. Like, even though we was on the SportsCenter, we'll call up the local news channel or the local newspaper or somebody blog or somebody podcast.
I think the key though, I think a lot of people say, especially in this tech realm, oh, if I get on TechCrunch, if I get on Wired, man, it's over. If I get on Mashable, that's the pinnacle. But I think the pinnacle is whatever you're serving in your industry, to get on wherever they're looking at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whether if it could be a Facebook group, it could be a magazine, it could be a TV
newsletter.
channel.
It could be
it could be whatever the pulse of your users at. That's where you want to get in like bed with. That's what the people that you want to get in front of and endear yourself to them. So like, there's like, we're living in a long tail environment. You know what I'm saying? And specialization is key. So to stand out amongst all the other generic companies, tech companies, you gotta say, what's my differentiation factor? And once you identify that, where are all my consumers at? And then if there's already a publication out there, you make sure you ingrate yourself with that. Something like Facebook or something like that, the cost to get in front of it is free. You know what I'm saying? You send a direct message telling them what you're doing, or you be a contributor. You send out posts in a Facebook group. You give out valid information. You do a report. You kind of be an asset to the community. You give them good information, good knowledge, good stuff that they could use, and then on a return, they're gonna solicit your business. So I look at it like, like TechCrunch and all these big publications is great for reputation and for authenticity.
Rights too.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you kind of want to be authentic though. You know, that's definitely a staple for that. But to get the real consumer adoption, you kind of want to get to the spots where people are at. And if they don't have one, you could be the source for that. You know what I'm saying? That's the beauty of it. You could be creating a public good, you know, that's separate from your company, but you're facilitating and curating information to bring in your consumers. I mean, that's what essentially blogs are for, right? Mm-hmm. That's the whole point of blogs, is to do something that's kind of off the cusp of your business, but it's in the community, and in return you get residual people come over and you know, become consumers.
One other piece that we left out about, you know, getting press and publicity is always you want to have a press release. You know, a press release is pretty much a release from your company to publications of putting out information of what you're trying to solicit or get out there. So twin brothers started an app, you know, created an app, found an app, you know, that would be kind of your press release. And it's kind of the format of language that reporters, you know, publications, that they kind of read off.
You're saying hardline, so under the line where they got certain facts, certain lines, certain figures that they could put into their story that's coming from us, so it's authentic.
And also know your deadlines too. Know the media deadlines, know the radio deadlines, know the news deadlines.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, somebody have a story that's due by Friday and they have it this Wednesday and they don't have no idea. Kind of use that to your advantage.
So are you saying stories usually come out on certain days, like when new stories are being produced, or what's a good day during the week if somebody don't know? What's a good day to pitch a reporter to have the best chances to getting reported on?
Well, it's different now, but when we was doing it, Mondays was always busy because I was catching up from the weekend. There's really a lot of people work on the weekends, but I found Tuesday and Wednesdays to introduce a new idea, a new story. It's good for a reporter, you know, somebody in a reporter, because Monday they get all their reports, their assignments, you know, things they gotta do that's coming from the weekend that kind of set up their week. Tuesday and Wednesdays, you know, by that time, Monday's all caught up. You know, everybody got through what they need to get through. Now they can explore. They can go out and look for stories. They can solicit. They can hit their sources. So if you come in with a new idea that's on tap of what they're looking for, then all you're doing is connecting the dots for them and making it easy for them to really look at yourself and push your story. So that's what it's different from every publication, from every location, depending on where you at, you know, what medium you are. But what we found was Tuesday and Wednesdays, it's usually a good day. If you're gonna do cold emails, it's to really do that and have something real short, simple, right there in the subject line and in the body. You don't wanna write nobody an essay. You wanna write them a short idea and put somewhere where you can contact them. If they like you, they'll contact you. If you don't, you ain't gonna hear from them.
Yeah, I like to show visuals, so I like to speak less, but if there's a new feature or if there's a community event that I'm doing, I would like to put an image of that event. So more than anything, as they're reading my letters and stuff, they could see the picture and they could really get a clearer picture of what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. You know, and I mean, links to articles is cool. I mean, links to website is cool too, but I like to have some right there in the letter because, you know, we don't know how many emails people are reading a day, or, you know, we don't want yours to get overread or get into the trash box. So kind of get some that sticks out there. Mm-hmm. And I mean, publicity, why do you think that's important for a startup business? Like,
it really separates yourself, because even though you got a startup and you think your idea is fresh and nobody's doing it, somebody's always doing what you're doing. So it's always a company that's either, if it's not there, it's going to be there, or if it's there, it's been there 5 years ago. So it's really, no idea is really original. It's just been recreated and redone a different way. So in order for you to stand out from 1,000 other ideas, you got to have a story that kind of sets yourself apart. Publicity helps not only legitimize your story, but also set you apart from everybody else. So that's why you really seek publicity, because it really, you know, puts yourself on a map. It kind of separates yourself from your competitors.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's the story of us going viral. This has been episode 3 of Hoopmaps Podcast. We'll see you next time.